Ms. Hovenier begins, I'd just like to point out that she is quite a remarkable young woman. And as a 21-year-old alumni of Washington's foster care system, she spent 7 years in foster care, primarily in Pierce County in western Washington, which is just south of Seattle area. She's become a strong advocate for foster care reforms, working with the Mockingbird Society, an advocacy organization for young people impacted by foster care and homelessness in Washington State. And I know she hopes her advocacy will improve the foster care system for young people who come after her, and I believe that you will. Thank you for being with us today, and you can go ahead. She says she's not nervous, so I told her I was. But go ahead, you have 5 minutes. Ms. Hovenier.
Thank you, Chairman Reichert, Ranking Member Doggett, and committee members for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Dawna Zender Hovenier. I am 21 years old and have spent 7 years in foster care in Washington State. On my 18th birthday, I aged out of foster care and was released after spending 7 months in an adolescent psychiatric hospital. My hope is that the government will quit spending millions of dollars forcing kids like me to take drugs they do not need and give them things they do need, such as a volunteer CASA who believes in them, skilled mental health professionals who they can talk to, and most of all, loving, compassionate family that believes in them. I was ordered into the psychiatric hospital after my social worker told the court I had borderline personality disorder, major depressive disorder, and suicidal ideation. I was forced to take strong doses of psychotropic medication and told I could probably never live on my own. Only my CASA and the man who became my father agreed with me that I did not need the drugs. The 7 months I was locked up and forced to take these drugs felt like being in jail. After reviewing my records, I discovered that the foster care system paid $15,000 a month, about $120,000 total, to lock me up and take these drugs. Last year, I earned my Certified Nurse's Aide certificate after successfully completing 2 years of classes at Bellingham Technical College. My GPA, it was a 3.92. I'm currently enrolled at Whatcom Community College in Bellingham, Washington. Thanks to federal and state funding for former foster youth, I was able to complete all my prerequisites required for a nursing degree. I am hoping to be accepted into an RN program to pursue my dreams of becoming a nurse. I have lived independently for more than 2 years. I've been off all psychiatric medications for more than 3 years. I've never felt better or happier. What happened? How did I transition from being diagnosed a mentally disabled foster youth to a model student and productive member of society? I don't have time to tell my whole story. Despite everything I experienced growing up, I know I was lucky. When I was 16, a man who recently became my father and is here with me today adopted my then 10-year-old brother from foster care. My younger brother was also forced to take strong doses of psychiatric drugs. He's been off them since his adoption more than 5 years ago. My dad hired an attorney to fight the state's plan to transfer me to an adult psychiatric facility. He picked me up on my 18th birthday and sent me to live with his friends. They are now my family too, so today it feels like I have 2 dads and a mom. The next 6 months were among the most difficult in my life. Because of my diagnosis in foster care, we couldn't find a psychiatrist willing to take me off the medications, so we had to do it ourselves. This meant battling many intense withdrawal symptoms. One of the medications I was on can cause seizures, resulting in death if not carefully discontinued. My dad wrote a book about adopting my brother from foster care, and some of the professionals who read it advised him on how to get me off these medications. 6 months after aging out of foster care, I managed to graduate from Mount Baker High School with my class. A few months later, I moved into my own apartment. My new family helped me find an excellent therapist who supported me in my decision to get off these medications. Today, I'm able to talk about my feelings, but when I was in the psychiatric hospital, I was so drugged up I didn't even know how I felt. My twin sister said I was like a zombie. I know some of the kids I was locked up with needed medications. They heard voices that weren't there and got violent sometimes. But I believe many of the foster kids were like me and needed loving parents to guide them. When I think about the government spending over $120,000 locking me up and forcing me to take these drugs, it makes me very angry. I wish that the money could have been spent helping foster youth. Despite all of this, I've been so lucky. A few months ago, on the same day as my brother's adoption, 5 years ago, my dad adopted my twin sister and me. What really helped me get off the medication was being surrounded by people who loved me and wanted to help me. I believe what most foster youth need is love, not drugs. Although I can never get back the 7 months that I was locked up and forced to take these drugs, I hope that telling my story here today and continuing to work with the Mockingbird Society will help other youth like me and encourage change. In closing, I want to thank the Mockingbird Society for making it possible for me to come from Seattle to be here today. They are an awesome youth advocacy organization that helps young people share our experiences about foster care and gives us a chance to be heard. Thank you, Chairman Reichert, for inviting me here today. I want to thank you for all the work that you do for foster youth. Dr. Phil, I also want to thank you for everything you've done. And I always am grateful to my CASA for being the person who knew me and told the court that I did not need these drugs, and for all my family, my twin sister, and my therapist for supporting me to get off these medications. Thank you.
You did awesome. You want to come up here and take my place and run the rest of the show?
No, thank you.
No. Thank you for your testimony, and thank you for your work. Dr. McGraw, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Chairman Reichert, Ranking Member Doggett, and esteemed members of the committee, I wish I didn't have to follow this young lady. That's a tough act, to say the least. I am honored.